Hey y'all, I was only able to get to this now, but the good news is, if all goes well, I'm planning on reviewing a DCAU movie every day from now on. I may take the day off of my birthday, which is the 12th and the Friday, because I'm planning to go see the new Demon Slayer movie. Indeed, I'm hoping to go see the new Demon Slayer movie. You can already see it in the Japanese. You can already see it, but I but I'm always wanting to go see anime um my animes in English. I watch them in Japanese if I have to, but more often than not, I just want to go see him in English. I'm not trying to start a argument or anything between the two sides, because for some reason, dub versus sub can get very touchy. Not really on the dub side, but on the sub side, they can get really touchy. But yeah, I'm just you can go watch the new Doomsday movie in Japanese now. It comes in English on the 12th. So I'm excited to go see it if I do. I'm like I say, I'm sorry about this. The last time I had to go and I didn't really know about it. I didn't pan out good. Out of the bed because we're getting to the second part. Well, I say the second part, but the ending to the epic conclusion of Superman Doomsday. So we have off this this version of Superman that Jack Deezer created. We found out about this version of Superman had killed someone who for a professor, the person he killed an innocent 4-year-old girl, so he had no qualms about that. But yeah, everybody treating him like no, he just did what needed to be done. Cause what the worst thing that could have happened is the worst thing that could have happened is he got out and he killed again. But what I meant to say was the best thing that could have happened was he the best thing we could hope for happen technically, I guess, is he spent some time in a cell and he either gets off for good behavior, he does not get a life sentence, or he rots in a cell file or waiting to be on death row, which could be years and years and years. There's no guarantee this guy's called the toy maker, by the way. There's no guarantee the toy maker would live to see justice done. It especially not justice done to the family members. I mean, they have to live with their little goal, their niece, their granddaughter being gone for all those years. But toy maker just just get to sit in a box for those years. I mean, with 3 caramels a day. But yeah, not top on it too much. But that just really annoys me. So anyway, we get we get that. We get this Superman saying Oh, I consider myself the yaw in Metropolis. And yeah, at that point, I mean, yeah, buddy, I do too. I think I said this the other time, but honestly, I like this Superman more than I do the original because he actually has some backbone. The which it's a funny story, bit of a meta note here. Um, though my favorite superhero is Batman, but I've always had a problem between Batman and Superman. I've always had a problem that they won't do what needs to be done. Well, apparently, the reason why they don't kill, the reason why they don't do what needs to be done in some cases, it was just a marketing ploy. That's the reason that Batman has a no kill rule. That's the reason that, because you such into Batman some more, especially in the movie Under the Red Hood, a bit of a spoiler for that. In the movie Under the Red Hood, we get a bit of an insight into Batman's philosophy, and Batman basically says, "Well, if I kill the Joker, who's killed millions of people." He doesn't say that, but I'm saying it. If I kill the Joker, who's killed millions of people, then I'd be just as bad as him. Yeah, no, you wouldn't. You no, you. That does not make any sense at all. I mean, I get what the filmmakers probably think he's trying to say, but that does not make any sense at all when you account the innocent it's the Joker and other numerous wrong the taken. But tangent over. So we get Superman saying, "I am the R in Metropolis. I consider myself the R." Then Superman, well, this version of Superman anyway, we go to X user, and X is a bit frustrated with him. You want to know what he's doing because he made him basically to serve user corp, to serve the Android. And it doesn't have to do nothing for the Android if people are so afraid of Superman. If I guess for some ulterior motive that Jax has. But Superman says, "Well, I was defending justice," and Superman walks out, and Jax warned them. "Well, Superman, I brought you into this world. I could take you out," and he hasn't said anything there. I get I get why he did, but this is still Superman with all the unique powers and all. Is he goes to Sion, not to get his hair done, but he goes to Sion and he sits down. He looks in the mirror. He studies himself with his X-ray vision, and he finds a metal cylinder is actually yet, but you don't man you don't metal yet cylindrical cylinder in the middle of a brain. And with the mirror, he is pinpoint accurate, so he uses his heat vision to basically perform surgery on himself. He he goes in the cartilage and melts that and everything with the skin to get the cylinder out. because it's full of kryptonite. And the reason he just assumes it's full of kryptonite, but the reason he does that is he can't see in it, so so it's Yet, because Superman can't, which I don't know what the comics have to say about this, but in the Smallville TV show, we learn that Yet has the effect of blocking out kryptonite. In the comics, it probably says the same thing too, because down the sink, he puts it down the drain, and he basically says it's safe to the people, because this ocean is full of people, so he sets the crowd of people, gathering people there, that a safe Superman is safe Metropolis, and at this point, which I may have skipped this, I don't remember. But at this point, Yolis is growing a little more suspicious. Yeah, so Yolis with Jimmy Olsen, who by this point had joined another news another news outlet that would that would pay him more, that would give more benefits, and this is one part of the movie that I took a little bit of an issue with. I don't like how it treats Jimmy Olsen, which I don't know if the comics have ever been faithful to Jimmy Olsen, but I don't like how it treats him. It treats him as like an enemy, a big sod, all that. But he was just trying to do what was best for himself. But I didn't like that. But anyway, just a minor point. So they discover that it's not really that it may not really be Superman, and you always confront Yex about it, because and this is another point that I kind of had an issue with too, I guess. Um, you always confront Yex about it, and so we say you always use the feminine wiles to charm Yex, to get him to admit about Superman killing, get him to to gain access to what he has access to. So you always use the feminine wiles, and which again the reason why I had an issue with that is Yex does not fall for that. Yex is supposed to be one of the smartest, if not the smartest person on the planet. So I know he's a man too, but he should not fall for that. He should know that he has some ulterior motive. But the plot had to move forward. The plot had to move forward, which is basically why anything happens in any movie ever, because the plot had to move forward. But so so you always get Yak drugged, and it's not what you think, but you always get Yak drugged, and they um they infiltrate they infiltrate an underground bunker. They infiltrate his secret lab, and they discover all the well first they discover that that Superman's body has been taken, that they've not got Superman's body, and they discover all these detonations of clones. They're not ready yet, not undecided, but they discover all these detonations of clones, and basically they tried to document it and everything because they've got cameras and everything. Though they tried to document it, but yet come to, and yet threatened him with the gun that he had, with the gun that he carried. I don't know. I don't know why, but yet threatened him, and that's when Superman showed up. Well, X is Superman. The Superman that I act with in the original. That's when X Superman showed up, and he looks around, and he tells he tells the old Jimmy to get out of here, and he he starts talking with the X. He starts saying, "Oh no, evil Superman, those aren't gonna fly with me." So, so Yax figures he should just cut his losses and says, on the bright side, I get to kill Superman after all. This is not how I envisioned, but on the bright side, I get to kill him after all. So he takes out the remote control that he had for detonation, and he tried to kill Superman then, but he can't, because Superman had already taken the bomb out of his head. So so Yex is bricking Yex is bricking his pants right there. He's having an out of body experience right there. So first thing Superman does, Superman destroys the clones because evil Superman aren't gonna work for him, because remember, he's not inherently evil. Yeah, Yax didn't program him to be inherently evil. He programmed him with a bit of Yax's his foresight also, but Yax did not intend this guy to be inherent. So he told Yax, Superman told Lois and Jimmy to get out of there, which they do, and Superman goes back to confront Yak, to haul him to jail, or maybe kill him. I don't know, but he goes back but he goes back to Yak's. Now Yak has the room from earlier, where he beats the Superman up because it had it had a lot of red lighting, and he had the kryptonite up a fight with the Superman, and he's he's in the room, Superman outside of it. What he does is, which I guess is something that yokes from the inside. What he does is Superman just closes the door, which which that's why I say I guess it yokes from the inside. Superman just closes the door. He yips up that entire room, that entire section of base, and he just chucks it. I forget. Well, no, he doesn't chuck it from outer space. I was gonna say I forget if he chucks it from outer space or not, but no, he doesn't chuck it from outer space. He just chucks it from some feet up off the ground. So he chucks it, and Yank is still in that bunker. That bunker does not break. But he chucks it, and we don't see Yank again for the rest of the movie. And then we see Superman kind of well, what the movie wants you to think. Superman is kind of dictator like, even though he's not. He's proven that he wouldn't kill the innocent. He's proven that he would kill only or each main, he would kill or maim anyone that he had to. But he's gonna use intellect. He's gonna use common sense for that. But whatever. The movie wants you to think that he's a dictator. So, and this is one of the funniest things in the movie to me. They call in the army. They call in the army to deal with this guy. And I mean, did they acknowledge it? Because beforehand, the soldier of the Ike, we can't be Superman. And the general agrees. The general says, "Oh, you're right. We can be Superman." So I'm like, why try? There's no reason. There's no reason to do this. Why try? You're just gonna get yourself killed and waste millions of dollars in military equipment. So why do you do this? That was that was just funny and a bit hateful to me. But I mean, at least they acknowledge it. At least they acknowledge that they cannot. Which, funny enough, they don't. Which I guess I can't blame them too much. But you think the army would have a that's the kryptonite or something in case something like this have happened. Because you know Yak user has has exclusive right to that. So you would imagine that they would too. But no. So we see our Superman. I forget if I talked about him yet. We see our Superman. He's he's um he's in his he's in his base. Recovering, and he's training. He's recuperating. We see him training with the giant machine. So he does some push-ups with it where you puts it up, trying to put it in place. Yeah, I can yeah, I wait. Just I'm trying to get the strength back up. So so at that point he puts that thing back in place, and he hears, oh, there's a Superman that Jax user created. Well, supposed to be, and I'm going to use words like these because this is just really irritating what the movie wanted to think, but supposedly he's wreaking havoc, even though he's really not. But supposedly he's wreaking havoc. So Superman goes and confronts him. Before this, we see the military leader, we see the general arguing with them, well, trying to argue with them, and this Superman goes, "I'm only doing this because I care." And he builds up every single tank, every single missile that they have. He just builds it up with seed vision. So at this point, Superman comes in, and the super, he comes in a black suit because that would help him absorb the sun's rays better as he fares along, because he's only at 60%. He's only at 60% of power. So he comes in at a black suit, and this makes it a lot easier for me. The the red the red and blue suit of Superman that Yoku's back, and they have some back and forth. Black Black Superman goes, "Oh, I have a problem with your methods," and and Red to be done. I care about Metropolis. So they fight, and it's a really great fight. I expected it to go different than it ended up going, only because Black Superman is portrayed as a good guy, and yeah, and Red and Blue suited Superman is portrayed as a bad guy. But no, Red and Blue Superman just kicked his behind. I mean, he would have, he could have killed him 10 times over if he wanted to. But in the end, which, oh, my Max suit of Superman has a kryptonite gun. I don't know where he got it. I guess he got it from the X or something. For for at some point, I guess. But he has a kryptonite gun, a green kryptonite gun, not red kryptonite. And yeah, this was why I expected the fight to go a little bit to go different than it did. But Superman, but Red and Red and Blue Superman suited Superman. He sees a gun and he just builds it. Well, he doesn't build it up, which is um, but he knocks it out of his hand with his heat vision. I forget if it's with his heat vision or if he just knocks it out of his hand. So it falls to the ground and they fight. And Red and Blue suited Superman is just kicking this guy's behind. He just like I said, I do find myself yeah I can I can Red and Blue suited Superman more than I do the black suited Superman because he actually has some backbone. But they fight and they fight for a good while. And yeah, and Random music to Superman, Yax's Superman. He gives Yax Superman an ultimatum. He says, "Yuck, I can do this all day, but why don't you just fly out of here? Metropolis is in good hands without you. Why don't you just fly out of here while you can?" But obviously he doesn't do that. And at this point, Yax and Yolis and Jimmy, they um they see the kryptonite gun where it falls, I guess. So so they use a military vehicle that wasn't built up inexplicably, but they use a military vehicle with Jeep to fly to roam around New York for the gun. When they find the gun, they throw it to Superman. Miyagi to Superman. At this point, Red and Blue suit of Superman does knock it with his heat vision. He and he actually destroys the thing. He actually destroys it, but there's one cartridge yet. We see that the kryptonite in the cartridges. So but he built the gun up, which I did not expect. I fully expected Max through the Superman to get the upper hand at this point. But but no, Superman just continued to Mac and Red and be Superman. Yes, Superman. He continued to him, pummel Mac through the Superman. Before Red and Blue Superman, he yips up the memorial that they had when they thought Superman had died, the memorial that they made. He yips up the memorial in full intention of to mass Superman over the head with it. I guess killing him at that point, which would be good, which would be symbolic. But and I watched it twice, and I still don't fully understand how this happened. But but at some point, Red and abuses of Superman, who has the effigy over his head, who has the memorial over his head. Remember, Red and abuses of Superman. He gets he has the kryptonite kryptonite cartridge yard in his stomach. So they have to go back and forth, and Black Superman eventually says, "You have all my strengths, but you have all my weaknesses too." And he's kind of Red and Blue Superman is kind of taken aback, and then we pull out and we see, because we didn't see it up to this point, but the camera pulled out, and then we see the yards in his abdomen. So yeah, so Red Black suits of Superman. He uses heat vision. He uses heat vision to destroy the cartridge, getting getting the kryptonite out, exposing Superman to it. So because kryptonite makes Superman weaker, he drops a memorial. He drops a monument, and it crushes Red and Red and Blue Superman, and then we see we see one more minute of it. Red and Blue Superman. He goes to Black Superman. Blood run. Well, a little bit of blood trickling from a chin anyway. And he goes to Black Superman and he falls to the ground and he said, "Protect the people." And Black Superman, that's why I'm here. And that's the end of the fight. The end of the fight was a little anticlimactic to me because why on earth would that? And yes, he ran on some energy that just ran out, which would make sense, I guess. Yeah, like a battery. But why on earth would this this monument trusting him kill Superman? Kill Red and Blue Superman, kill the Superman kill. Like, why in the world would they do that? But like I say, some things in the movie just happen to get the plot moving along. But that was just one of my, which it was a great fight. But that was just one of the things that I questioned. Yeah, that that's it. I mean, I appreciate that Red and Blue Superman didn't just beat him, or Black Superman didn't just beat him. Yeah, like I thought he would. Yeah, overpower him and everything, like I thought he would. But why did that happen? But but anyway, the original Superman is back now, and criminal free, criminal able to walk free again. Because that is, I just a little bit, but that is what's gonna happen. I mean, he'll develop no backbone at all from this. He won't step back. He won't examine what Red and Blue Superman did. That maybe he should adopt some of his methods. But criminals would just be free to would just walk free again under his watch. But yeah, I get that is what's open to end up happening. So original Superman is back, and he a boy, the boy from before, who says that he's gonna dress up as Superman for Halloween every Halloween for the rest of his life. The boy, he comes back, and he and Lois and Superman, they talk a little bit. They say, "Oh, it may take some time for these people, for people to actually accept me, for people to actually accept me back," which I question a little bit too. But Superman, some time. It may take some time for them to actually accept me back. This Moy approaches Superman, throwing his back suit, and he he goes, "You aren't gonna switch to the red and blue again, right? Because I got glad got better." So they hug, and Superman hoists his boy on his shoulders, and Lois and Superman kiss and everything. And at the end, and this is frustrating to me too, but not in the new continuity, I don't guess. Which we did Da Vinci get an answer to this. But in the end of the movie, the with the accuser, he's he's been, well, not exactly hospitalized. He's in his mansion with the doctors, and his arm is broken. He's hooked up to an IV. He's hooked up to all this medical equipment, and he basically says, I'm not going to say verbatim because I don't remember, but he basically says, this is, if there's one thing Doomsday has proven, is that God can be killed. So, so enjoy your reign while you can, Superman. And that's the end of the movie. We don't get a follow-up to this, except in the new continuity, which tomorrow I am going to review the remake of Superman Doomsday called The Death of Superman. I am going to review that tomorrow, but as for now, we don't have a sequel. I don't know why, but I don't know what happened with it. But yeah, we don't have a sequel to that cliffhanger, which is kind of sad. I mean, those actors and that art style that that movie has, we're not going to see it again. We may see it in another in another in another movie. They do try to keep going for at least one more movie that I could find. But that is kind of sad that we just don't get a sequel to that, and that whole thing kind of a reboot for the New 52 and everything. But tomorrow, I thought work on the New 52, and I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna watch The Death of Superman again tomorrow, which I'm excited about because, like I say, I do Superman Doomsday more. There's some elements of Death of Superman that I do react better than Superman Doomsday, but but I wouldn't think my opinion would change. I would think I'd still react Superman and Doomsday more, but I'll compare them tomorrow. Well, guys, thank you for getting into my review. I'm really excited to dive into the proper new 52. Oh, I should point out there was actually, which it was usually a sequel, I guess, called The New Frontier, which I just couldn't watch because of some they introduced the Justice League and they introduced Wonder Woman and everything, which and yes I missed some key movies. I couldn't really get into that because yeah, no proper follow up at all from what I could tell. But I'm excited for tomorrow. I'll see y'all tomorrow if all goes well. Yeah, like I say, I'm planning on reviewing a DCAU movie every day till I get to the end because there's a lot of movies. There's a lot of movies to go to till I get to the end. Some I haven't seen that I'll review out of order just when I get to it. But indeed, from beginning to end, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good on the new 52, so I'll just be reviewing those. But guys, God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow.